Hi, I just wanted to talk to you today about tackling the slip stitch crochet on the collar. It can be pretty easy to get a bit lost at first, so putting some landmarks in can help. And essentially I've got a stitch marker in each of the corner stitches for me to hit. I've placed those first. I've also got a stitch marker in that corner stitch, so I know where I'm aiming for. I placed a little we call it running stitch, if you like, down the line where I was going to hit the top for the first time, and then I placed the next one down the line where I'm going to hit the bottom, and then I've gone along and put another line where I'm going to hit the top, and then down to the corner pieces as well. So I've had to mark out these first before starting, and then that gives me a bit more guidance of where to go on the first path. So as you'll see in my embroidery chart, we've started at this corner, and that's one stitch in from each edge. So I have gone 2 slip stitch up, 2 diagonal, 4 across, 2 diagonal, 4 up, 2 diagonal, 4 across, 2 diagonal, 4 up, etc. As we weave our way to the top point. So we've hit the little blue line to go, yes, we're in the right spot. Do a 90-degree turn, and down we go until we reach the bottom. Then we've done a 90-degree turn again once we've hit our marker. Off we go to arriving this way at the top. And then this is actually the hardest part to figure out, quite honestly, is working your way down the edge here to the corner, which is 2 stitches down from your marker. Then doing a 90-degree bend, coming down here, and then we backtrack, which is a bit easier because you've got your previous landmarks to go on. But in terms of this first working down the collar, we've arrived up here, we've done a 90-degree turn, and then we're coming across, and we're like, it actually looks like we're at the last stitch of the row here to make this work, and that's really it's a carryover effect of having our decrease stitch 1 stitch in from the edge of the row. So I do want to just point that out, that you will need to work in that last sort of stitch when you're following this end down to actually maintain the pattern, to be able to reach this point down here, which is, as I said, 2 stitches down from the marker, and it means you can just skirt that buttonhole. So the positioning of that is quite important, and then go back. So by the time we've gone back down to the beginning, we've got those ends to weave in later. Now I'm not weaving these in yet to hide them at the back. I actually want to leave them till the end because I don't have much yellow to hide it in yet, and by the time the pattern is finished all over the whole collar, then I've got more choice of where to sew it in. So it does get annoying, I have to say. It does get in the way sometimes when you try and do your stitching, but you can end up like temporarily threading it through the edge of your work, just weaving it through the end of the row so it just sort of doesn't dangle at the back. That can help. I just kind of put up with it and fiddle around, but you can, just weave it through the end to keep it out of the way for a while. But I wouldn't sew the ends in now. So anyway, we've started on our second path, and heading up again, 2 stitches down for the marker, turning a corner, and then following up. And on this side, you can actually see that it is the second stitch that you'll end up with when you get to those key points. So I just wanted to point out that difference compared to the other side of the collar. And then by the time you actually get to this point in the second path, you can start to find your way more easily because you've got these landmarks all along the way. And the other thing to note is really that when you make all your vertical lines, they match up with the vertical lines of the previous motif, and the horizontal lines match up too. So as you're going, you can just make sure that, say, your previous horizontal line actually matches up with the midpoint of your 4 if you're doing a vertical part, and just sort of check these things, you know, are lining up as you go.